Now, as you may know, we offer after-school programs in 11 elementary schools, 3 middle schools here at APS, for a total of nearly 475 programs, assisting more than 2,500 students across the district. Our after-school programs provide a variety of benefits to our children, our families, our schools, and our overall community. First and foremost, though, our after-school programs keep our children safe, out of trouble during after-school hours. They also boost academic performance, eliminate behavior problems, and they provide our hardworking families with a new choice in after-school care that supports student achievement. I'd like to specifically thank Mayor Plusquellic and the City of Akron for partnering with us in the after-school programming, bringing that to our school district. I would also like to thank 2 of my staff members, Desiree Bolden and Carla Sibley, for their hard work to make this a successful reality. Years back, an Akron Public School after-school program was just a vision. Now it's a model for similar initiatives across the state.
In 2001, Mayor Plusquellic enhanced the partnership with our school system by investing in after-school programs. The City of Akron has consistently, for the last 9 years, supported after-school programs. As a parent in today's world, a public school parent, I'm a product of Akron Public Schools, so is my husband, and so are our children. I'm particularly grateful that we have a mayor who looks out for our children. I'm thankful that Mayor Plusquellic, that you're an advocate for our education system and an advocate for our after-school programs. Thank you so much.
It would probably be hard to imagine if I were to say that this is exactly what we had in mind years ago when we looked at providing the opportunity for extended hours that some of us knew sort of instinctively, although there's a lot of hyperbole out there, election time, about caring for kids, and we want to do things for kids, that some of us know that where you spend your money determines really where your heart is and where your brain is and where your commitment is. And we made this commitment to the after-school program following what Desiree just described to you, her beginning stage of this enrichment program that was very successful, not only for the young people, but for the parents to stay engaged and involved in making certain that their children were being followed. As you just heard one of the parents to take pride in what their children could do. And I think sometimes parents maybe don't understand the potential that their child has to do anything and everything that other folks, I'm going to describe this in my terms, that live in wealthier communities, that just assume right from the beginning that their child can be a doctor or a professor or something else. And sometimes it takes the rest of us. This old saying, it takes a village to raise a child. This is living proof, and I think we live this every day in Akron. Because some children, as we all know, unfortunately, are not blessed with a wonderful mother that cares. Maybe it's just a mother that, because of circumstances, the father dies early in his life, and while she was counting on him to provide, help provide, she goes back and takes a second job. And it's not an uncaring mother, it's a hard-working mother that doesn't have the time that maybe parents like mine had in the 50s to welcome the kids home and find activities. So what do? We just leave them to their own? Just by luck, if you happen to be born in the right family, that you can make it. If you don't, we don't care. Well, in Akron, we care. And we care about every child. And we've made a commitment in so many ways. And I can't express how proud I am of Desiree and thankful that we have someone like her that not only was good in caring, but good at organizing and good at really reaching out and finding other revenue sources, the county, Knight Foundation, all of the U.S. Department of Education and the state, to be able to maximize the seed money really that we put in to get this started, to make the original commitment, to start to show that it makes a difference. We started showing that, and now it really is. She talked about Akron Way. I'm surprised Dave didn't tell you that we had to make it Akron Plan, because historically that was a plan of organizing schools that literally was known throughout the country as the Akron Plan. back in the late 1800s, middle 1800s. And here we are again leading the state and leading the country and providing an example of why this kind of a commitment works, why it's necessary. There are probably dozens, if not hundreds of people that I need to thank. I want to thank Dave James. I have said in years past that we needed leadership in the Akron schools to make the tough decisions. You know, James Hardy is here, the president of the board, and these things don't get accomplished by being mamby-pamby, by just being nice. Sometimes it takes a hard commitment and sometimes sticking to the fact that we all should be about what's best for the kids. Not what's best to give more people more time off and let them go home early. That makes people happy. It doesn't help when we're talking about the kids. This is a commitment to the next generation that every successful society makes throughout the history of mankind. It used to be preparing them to fish and hunt and cook. Now our world is much more sophisticated, and what we're doing is preparing these young people for success in the future. And Dave and the board have provided very much needed leadership, and I appreciate it very much. But I really thank City Council for continuing their tradition of making a commitment for the long term. We don't usually get this kind of a report that shows how our efforts make a difference. We feel it, we sort of understand it, we believe it, but this, in a very specific way, has highlighted how much difference this can make in young people's lives. That's where we've provided, I think, this extra guidance, and thankfully, someone has come forward to verify statistically and in a report that will make a difference when we're telling this story, why we need to continue to support education in general and after-school programs, and in every way enhance the opportunity of our young people to be successful. And for the most hard-nosed, hardcore right-winger, I say to you, not that there's anybody here, but in case anybody listens to this and you're one of those hardcore, this is just good common sense. We have to prepare these folks, these young people, to get a job. And in today's marketplace, it takes a higher education to get a job. You can't just walk in and use your brute strength like my father did. So we're preparing them, we're helping them, we're nurturing them, and we're preparing them to be a productive citizen in our society. And after all, isn't that what adults should do? Thank you, everyone who's been involved in this. We appreciate it very much.
First and foremost, the governor does send his regrets for not being able to attend this morning, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't take interest. He doesn't listen to what's going on throughout the state. And but more importantly, he also takes notice of very strong leadership within your communities and visionaries such as Mayor Plusquellic and your superintendent. Those things that we look for in leaders in the communities to making a difference, a true commitment. And like the governor says, we invest in what matters. And what truly matters is our youth, education.
When economic times are tough, we need to focus on services that support working families like Julia and Heather's families. After-school programs are one such important support for working families and for their children. And we need look no farther than Akron for new and exciting ways to expand the learning day, as well as to keep children safe after school and during the summer, and keep parents at work. This work needs to be supported by the state, and we encourage the Senate and the governor, as well as our champions, Representative Sykes and Hurd, to keep funding for after-school programs in the state budget so children and youth across the state can benefit from programs like Akron After Schools. Thank you.
The fact that we're able to partner with the schools, and I have not described them as a willing partner in the early years, but they saw the wisdom of accepting our money to help provide these beautiful new modern facilities, safe facilities, rather than schools like Lincoln that are over 100-some years old. But by doing that, we all save money in this community that allows us to use these buildings in the summertime for some of our recreation programs.